Welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel, everyone. This is Rich, making another video on XRP today, as usual. We're going to talk about XRP today, so I hope everyone is having a fantastic day wherever they are in the world. And this from Cyprus is where I have to start. It's time to get up. What it all means is that this is about the new internet of value, not simply cryptocurrency. The US and the UK are rushing to modernize money, as these documents demonstrate. Stablecoins are turning into essential components of the financial system. TradFi and DeFi are becoming less distinct. The construction of a multi-network programmable money system is underway. The people who pay attention today will reap the rewards tomorrow. We are currently engaged in a significant currency war. The currency battle, in my opinion, is also driving us towards the digital era. Listen to what Jim Rickards has to say on the currency war. A currency war isn't always going on throughout the world. However, they can last for a very long time when we are. The first currency war, as I refer to it, ran from 1921 to 1936. Following the Paris Accord, the Louisville Accord marked the beginning of the Second Currency War, which lasted from 1967 until 1987. One was 15 years, while the other was 20 years due to the currency war. In 2010, the Third Currency War broke out, and we're looking at 2025 to 2030 if you go out 15 years. Currency wars have no logical end, which is why they drag on for so long. There is no logical conclusion to them. A monetary war can only be resolved by systemic reform or systemic collapse. The system may be reformed as we did at Bretton Woods, the Smithsonian Agreement, the Plaza Court, and the Louvre Accord in the 1900 AES, or it can be allowed to fall apart, as it did in 1914 and 1939. That's your two, then. Do you believe that the existing system will be easily replaced with a new one? Or do you think they will let the system to fail? He's also discussing the revaluation of gold. Listen to it. Portfolio, but many gold bugs say, well, this is what would happen. The price of gold will soar to $10,000 an ounce, and China will take all of this gold, establish its own infrastructure, the AIIB, and turn the yuan into a currency backed by gold. They will make this announcement as a huge surprise and run the dollar off the road. The price of gold will reach $10,000 per ounce, but not for the reason I just explained. What I just outlined is exactly what will not occur. China wants to join the club, which is what it is doing. I take it we're in a club. Most likely, all of you belong to clubs. China aspires to join the elite group, the IMF, in the US. They aspire to join that group. However, the US is in possession of a black ball. We might let you into our club, for example. We might not. What conduct are we to anticipate from you? To put it another way, we're using that as a trade-off. They're constructing their own club over here. Because some wealthy applicants were unable to join the established clubs, many clubs were founded in the United States. I'll start my own club, so screw you. That turns into exclusivity. Thus, China is simultaneously doing both. They wish to join the current club. However, they're constructing their own club in case they are unable to. They are therefore far more nuanced and sophisticated. What does the United States now claim is the cost of admitting China to the club? And to answer the gentleman's point once again, the situation is that China wants more votes at the IMF and the Chinese yuan is in the SDR. To give China more votes, the Congress is delaying the legislation. You know those Tea Party guys in the House, you can't reason with them because they're getting in the way, the White House adds. No sense. In order to pass it, the White House wanted this. In 2009, Barney Frank included a $100 billion IMF line of credit in a defense appropriations measure. I promise that the White House could accomplish anything they set their minds to. When the White House accuses the Tea Party, it's very simple for them to go to the Chinese and say, oh, those crazy Tea Party people, they're standing in the way. They're not In order to obtain concessions from China, the White House is purposefully slow-rolling this. What is the concession? Pegging the yuan to the dollar is their goal. They want the currency conflicts to end in China. Must cease using currency devaluation to boost their economy and increase exports. As you can see, the Chinese economy is in complete collapse. In other words, their growth is rapidly decreasing. They're down from 10% to 8% to 7%, but they're still not disappearing. They will most likely score lower than 7%. The number of fatalities is rising. The stock of Shanghai, China's shoreline, is a hotbed of danger. Normally, China would simply lower its currency and increase exports. That is not what they have done. Many individuals lack the yuan. They will be disappointed, I believe. The dollar's peg is still in place in China. That's the cost of playing poker. The United States wants to see that. Thus, the United States is telling China, hey, we'll let you into the yuan if you guys behave well. That will most likely take place and be disclosed during this year's IMF annual conference in Lima, Peru, in October, and take effect on January 1 after that. China is now a member of the club. They will eventually get this law passed by Congress. China will receive more IMF votes. What will not occur, however, is that China will expose its gold, and the price of gold will soar on the basis of that information alone. The price of gold will rise again, but for different causes and at various times. Because you have to have the gold in order to get into the club. You must possess the gold, but keep it to yourself. Plan B is the gold. Plan is paper money. And the US is telling China that if it wants to join the paper money club, that's okay. Come on in and we'll approve your paper money by adding it to the SDR. It's fantastic that you have 7,000 or 8,000 tons of gold. Additionally, there is the cost of your assignment to enter the club. By the way, until China can obtain its gold, the US and other countries have been cooperating to keep the price of gold low. China joins the group after winning gold, but no one discusses it after that. Thus, this goes much deeper. Once more, this is not conspiracy theory. All of this may be extracted from the information that is accessible for your portfolio. It explains the plot that's going on behind the scenes, which is why I wanted to play the entire clip. The statement that we are in an is what we are seeing. Conflict with China. China and we are engaged in a currency war. To compete with China, we currently need a dollar that is backed by gold. However, what's actually happening is a major motion picture. However, I believe that China and the US are collaborating to force us to adopt a new financial system. They're pushing into the new financial system while causing all this upheaval and claiming that we are involved in numerous wars. This is from ICE-9, Mr. Man. I have previously discussed it in other videos. Thus, the markets had previously frozen twice. A 10-day period of darkness has been forewarned to us. This might perhaps occur once more during this currency decline. The New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ suspended trade on September 11, 2001. According to Wikipedia,